Hi friends, welcome back to my channel. In the previous session, we started learning modeling in Inventor and we saw basic features and how to use them to make objects and how to use them to make models in Inventor. Moving on, we are going to see another features in Inventor modeling such as hole feature, fillet, chamfer, shell, draft, thread, combine, thicken, split and direct. So first we will see hole feature. So we made this model in previous session and we need to place a hole here on this face. We will make a sketch here and using this point feature here we will make different positions for the holes where we need them. We will give the dimensions of these holes. These points will act as hole centers. Let's keep them 0.75. From the center. Okay, so you can see that we have placed 4 holes, and if we don't place any holes then we can also choose this origin point of the sketch as the center of the hole. We will finish the sketch, we will select hole option. As soon as we select this hole option, since we freshly made a sketch on this face, the hole feature will select that face sketch automatically, and the points which we draw on that sketch will be automatically taken as the center of that holes. So here you can see that we are given different options for holes which we can use according to our use. We can have simple hole, we can have clearance hole, we can have tapped hole, we can have taper tapped hole. Then we have different type of countersinks like seats like no seat, counter bore, spot face and countersink. So for example, I need a simple hole with countersink, then I will select the simple option here, then select the countersink option here, and then I will have to give dimensions over here about what is the size of the counter bore or what is the degree of that counter bore. And when we click on OK, the hole will get generated automatically. Okay. Now if we wish to edit that hole and we wish to make them threaded hole or tapped hole, I will just choose different option here. I don't want any countersunk, so I will select none option here. Then you can see that there are different drop down menus from which we can select the type of threads and the sizes of the threads. We can also select the class of the threads here. So I want machine screw or metric screw, so I will select metric profile here. I want a hole of M10, so I will click on the 10 size here. Then you can see that in M10 we are given different pitches here, so we can use different pitch, we can select different pitch according to our use, and then we will select the class here. 6H is the standard tolerance class of M10 hole, so it will be selected automatically. Okay, so now here you can see that there are different options available. We can give distance for the depth of that hole from here. If we want to make a through hole, then we can click on here. If we want to make a hole to a particular surface or a particular plane, then we will have to click these options too, and we can select the face up to which we need the holes. So here I am giving distance, assume it to be 5 inch, and then we have option of full depth. If we activate this option, then the threads will be up to the full depth of the hole which we generated. We can also vary the degree of the points at the end of the hole from here. The degree varies according to the drills used to make these holes in machining process. Okay, so this was the hole option. Now we have fillet. When we click on the fillet feature, this pop-up will show here. Here we can give dimensions of what radius we need to take for fillet option. I think it will be inch. Okay, and then we will select the edges on which we want to make the fillet, and you can see that the fillet is generated here. Similarly, there is an option for chamfer also. We have to give dimensions of what chamfer we need. Let it be 2 mm, and then we will select the edges where we need to place that chamfer. You can see that the chamfer is generated here at the bottom. Then we have a unique command, which is a shell command. Assume that you have to make a box or a hollow object with a complex shape. So uh, either you can do it with extrusions, you can make a solid body, and then you can cut extrusion from that body. Like for example, we have a simple box here. We will generate a simple box of 5 by 5 inch. Try to use as much constraint options as you can, so that it will make your sketch easy to be edited in future. Okay, now we can make it a hollow box in this solid from making a new sketch from here. We will give a width of that hollow box, give it to be 0.5 inches. And it depths. When we click on the flip side, it will automatically generate a cut extrude. But if you want to make it a solid, you can uh, change it from here. If you want it a cut, you can change it from here. 4.5 inches. So in this way you can make a hollow object with the use of extrusions, but you can do it in a single step or easily without making two sketches. So when you have made this one extrusion, you have to select this shell feature here. Use when you we have only one solid here, so it will automatically select that solid. Now you have to select one face. If you want to remove the face, change the thickness of the object here and click on OK. So the hollow part will generate automatically. If you don't want to remove any face and uh, the object is hollow from inside and opaque from outside, then just click on OK. And when you take a cross section from here, you will be able to see the hollow cavity inside that object. This is how you can use shell command to make cavities. Then we have a draft option. So if you have made a solid and you need to give one of its face degrees related to other faces, then you can use this command draft. You can select the two faces. One will be the reference face, which will be selected first, and the other is the face you want to make in degree. So now you can just stretch this arrow and make it in degree, or you can edit degrees from here also. Now you can see that this face is tapered. So draft can be used easily for tapering any face without making any sketches. Now we have other feature, thread, which is similar to hole, but its purpose is a bit different. Assume that you are making a pin or you are making a bolt. Okay, assume that we are making a bolt here. I will sketch a bolt and then I will generate it. Mm screw. I want a M8 screw, so I will give the radius to be 4 mm. The radius of the head we will assume it to be 14 mm. I will generate it through revolve, and you can see that a basic bolt is generated. So what if you want to give threads on this outer surface of the bolt? Then you have to use thread feature. Click on thread feature and select the face where you want to give threads. As soon as you select that face, you will see a similar options like hole command. You can select the thread from here. You can select its size. Since it was 8 mm diameter, so it has selected 8 mm automatically. Now you can change the pitch from here and then click OK. So in this way you can make bolts using thread feature. Now for understanding this command combine option, we have to understand a different uh, function of solid. We have a simple cube made here and we want to make another cube here, but see what will happen is that when I start sketching on here, I click on project geometry and then I will extrude another cube of the same or different thickness. You will see that this both the extrude will generate one solid. You can see that only one solid is there which is using the both the extrusions. But what if I want to generate a different solid here? I don't want a single body, but I want two different bodies from these two different extrusions. Then during this extrusion, I have to select new solid from here. Now you can see that these two solids are generated differently. So sometimes during modeling you will face a problem where you have made two different solids, but going ahead you want a single solid. So then you have to use this combine feature. Click on the combine feature and select the two solids or more than two solids which you need to combine, and then click apply. So that two solids will now form a single solid and will get combined. Similarly, there is a function called split. If you have a single solid which is large enough, but you don't want a single solid and you want two different solids from splitting that object, that current solid, then you can use this split command. For split, you have to make a sketch, a line generally which shows the split section of that solid. We will generate a line here from where we want to split the face. We have option of splitting the face only, or we can split the whole object too. So now when I click on split command, you will have two options here, split face trim solid or split solid. So if I select the split face, and the split tool will be the sketch or the line which we used as the splitting line. When we select it, we will be asked for a face which we want to split. I will select this face and I will apply. You can see that the solid is 1, but that upper face is split in 2 sections. Now we can use this same command to trim the object. I have this large object, but I want to trim either section which is lying on 2 sides of this line. Then I have to select this split tool. I will click on trim solid, and now you can see that the 2 options are there. Then we have one arrow here which will show the trim direction of this object. We can change the direction of that arrow from here. We'll click apply, and now you can see that that object is trimmed from the line which we draw for split. Same way, if we want to split the solid in 2 solids, we will select this third option, split solid, and we will click OK. Now you can see that the whole solid is split in 2 solids. So this was split command. Now we have thicken or offset here. If I only want to change the thickness of this face, then I will click on thicken or offset. I will select this face and I will give the needed thickness here. So it will increase the thickness of this face. You can make a new face also by clicking on new solid. So a new solid is generated over that face. Now we have a very interesting feature here, interesting command here, that is direct command. This is generally used often in modeling, and so you have to get familiarized to this command. When you click on direct, a whole tab gets generated here, and using this direct command you can do a lot of options, a lot of features you can do directly without using extrude or sweep or thickness command. If you want to extend a face, you just select that face, you will get arrows here and then stretch that arrows, or you can give inputs here. You can do multiple functions from this command, and you can go on and on how many operations you want to do. We can also change, we can also rotate the faces, which we are doing in taper. We'll rotate them too. So this direct command is very useful, and try to get familiarized to this command by practicing. So today we end our session here. We saw different commands: hole feature, fillet, chamfer, chef, shell, draft, thread, combine, thicken, split, and direct. So these are very useful functions in modeling in Inventor, and try to practice them and try to getting familiarized with them, and it will increase your grasp over Inventor modeling. Thank you guys, and subscribe to my channel for more similar videos.